Hello, I'm Mark D'Annunzio. I'm going to tell you what I learned in Business Writing 362. I've learned a variety of skills that will help me in the real world and I can actually take on the job and future experiences. In business writing, I learned that there's a completely different writing than what I learned in writing 150 and 160. In writing 150, I learned to use APA and MLA format with double space, indents, and this is what a book report would look like, not what a business writing would look like. In business writing, it's called a memorandum. You need a cover letter, what the day is, who it's going to, who it's from, and what it's about. You want single spacing, and there's no indents on the paper. You also then sign at the bottom and then put your signature down below, which I thought was very different and very difficult to get over from the regular writing classes. Also, in business writing, you're supposed to put headers above each new paragraph telling you what the paragraph is about, making it easier for the reader to understand what you're talking about. By far, the single most helpful thing that I've taken from this class is the resume. This here is my old resume, with just my name, some education, my work experience from oldest to newest, and some awards and random facts about me. Hey, this is what mine looks like. It has all my contact information, my employment objective, my education, work experience from most present, and then all the way down to my old first job. All my facts, awards, and all of the stuff that I've accomplished over my days, and has a cover letter of why I should and how I can benefit the job that I'm applying for, which I had never learned before. Another valuable and key step to being successful in business writing is rewriting. Rewriting is when you have your paper and you've written it several different times until you're happy with one that you really like. Each time I had written a paper, there'd be different notes telling me which I should do and which I should get rid of. So each time would be a better draft, and each time I would have more cleaner references and a better paper. And overall, bettering myself for the future of business writing. I've worked on a lot of group projects in my day, but never a group paper. A group paper to me was far more difficult than a project because you had to make sure that everyone did their part at a reasonable time, and you had to communicate, making sure, seeing where everybody was at. Now, if somebody didn't do their part, it was far more difficult to step back up and do their part for them, if needed. In the first group I was in, we only exchanged our email addresses. Now this was good because we could email each other our rough drafts of our paper. But the downside to it was that if we needed to reach somebody right away, we had no idea if they had reached their email or not. With the second group, we exchanged our email address so we could do the paper that way. But we also exchanged our phone numbers, so if we needed to get a hold of somebody right away, it was much more easier than waiting for them to check their email, hoping that they check their email within the hour. So better for future reference, I would always suggest get the email address for your paper part and their phone number for communicating with them as soon as possible. For the resume project, we had to find a job listing in a newspaper or online, the job that we would want. So I had looked through all of these. Until I found one article talking about them in the Detroit Free Press about hiring police officers. Then I had wrapped my resume to fit that article job listing the way that would best benefit myself, and in the paper talk about how I would benefit them. What have I learned? Well, I've learned a lot in this business writing class. I've learned the process of writing a business formal letter, a memorandum. I learned that you need single spacing and you need a header above each paragraph to inform the reader what the paragraph will be about. You also need a cover letter informing the reader what the entire paper will be about. The resume part was probably the most beneficial part that I've taken away from this. How to write a resume that will get me a job that I want. Also, rewrites. Rewrites are important because each time you rewrite a paper, the better it gets, the more well-detailed, the more groomed, fine-tuned it will be. Also, I learned the importance of a group communication. In each group, either in the real world or in the classroom, you need to communicate well with others. And overall, I've improved my weaknesses and my strengths in writing and in formatting. Thank you very much.